All right, are we finally here? Looks like we're finally here. All right. Whew. Wow, it's been quite the afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. But at long last, 10, 15, no, we're past even that. Clock right now on my side is showing 5:17, so a little late, but alas, here now. And to those of y'all that were patiently waiting, special thanks to especially all of y'all. I know that can be a little frustrating at times, but thank y'all for waiting patiently for me to get my slow butt here. Somebody on the interstate a long way to, as I was coming back from Omaha to get some stuff for the fishies here, of course, because what else would it be? Somebody had some glass fall out of the bed of their truck and go all over the freeway. And to give you an idea of just how fun that traffic jam was, it's a 4-lane road that got cut down to one singular lane. It was a blast. But alas, I am here, safe and sound, and here's seeing that we have 11 people that were patiently waiting. 11 likes to follow with that. Thank you all very much here. And as the title would suggest, going to touch up a little bit on the subject of what are some great beginner fish here for maybe some people that are thinking about getting in a hobby, but, maybe just want to dip their toes or, walk into the water rather than just dive in with head first or just full cannonball or whatever you want to call it, I guess. I guess the first and foremost, the first 3 fish I would guess that probably a lot of us had as a first fish would either be a goldfish, betta, or guppies, or I guess maybe live bearers of some sort in general. All of these are good. I sometimes hate calling a goldfish, though, a beginner fish because everyone gets the idea that they're, I guess similar to bettas to where they just don't really need a whole lot of attention, which if you've kept goldfish would know that that's not true, hardly at all, especially once you get to more of the fancier ones. Obviously, things like comets and all that can live a little bit more dirtier conditions than some others, but still require some good care and such. Big tank, too, since they can grow up to about 10 inches to a foot sometimes, given the proper conditions. It's why I have 4 comets and 4 different fantails in a 125-gallon tank. They get big. But overall, I would still like bettas and guppies as a... my light's kind of going all over here. Let me see if I can adjust something here real quick. Be right back. All right, is that better? Looks better. At least the light's not fading in and out as much. Yeah, that's tons better. There we go. We'll roll with that. I feel like I had to do that last week too, didn't I? Eventually I'll learn, right? Let's see, oh yeah, bettas. Bettas I like to still consider a beginner fish because, while some people may still think that you can just put them in a vase or a bowl, which I guess that's better than putting a goldfish in a vase or a bowl, but because at least bettas, can't grow up to about 8 inches to a foot, I guess. But at the same time, bettas, beyond popular belief, they do need a heater. They do need air and filtration, all that jazz. Although I do see that sometimes people just put a big rooted plant that just has a plethora of roots that go in the water, which can work, but I would still change the betta's water then out of that bowl, vase, or whatever, at least, I would say daily, if not every 2 days. But if y'all have been on my channel for a while, you know me, I really don't like putting bettas in a vase. I don't want to just give my fish an environment where they're just going to survive. I want to give my fish an environment where they're going to thrive. Much like us, human beings. Would you rather live in I know everybody has their preferences, but if you put 100 people in one room, how many people do you think are going to say they'd rather live in a studio, one room, all studio apartment versus a potential 2-story house? My guess is a lot more people would probably say the house. more space for your fish is better. Usually. Anyway, 99% of the times, more space is better. I'm not saying, obviously, don't need to put a beta in a huge tank like what I got back here, but that might be a little overkill. But, I mean, hey, if you can get that beta like a 20 tall or a 20 long, go for it. Let's see here. I think I saw a question here earlier. Richards asks, how big is the tank behind me? Sorry if you already said so. I don't think I've said so this stream here. And it's all right to ask. We're all, I'm always down to talk about it. This tank behind me, Roger, is 240 gallons. It is currently the biggest tank I have down here in my fish room. The second biggest, well, I guess the second biggest doesn't have water, but the second biggest I have is a 185-gallon bow front that's been sitting vacantly down here in my fish room for probably over a year, probably been more over a year and a half at this point now. Otherwise, my third biggest would be the 150-gallon tank where Finley is. And then I got a couple of 125s down here. But yeah, the big boy behind me is 240 gallons. My biggest one for now. Been thinking about maybe building a plywood tank at some point, but that's probably a ways down the road. My wife and I are looking at things here with our house here potentially. Since it's kind of a older building, we're thinking about either fixing something up or maybe potentially just building up something new. I won't go too deep into that because, I mean, there's a lot that's got to be done about that, and that could be soonish. That could be 5 years away. That could be 10 years away. But I guess we'll see. Atkins Nature Crimes. My biggest tank is a 55. I mean, hey, once upon a time, that was my biggest too. I was also on a second floor apartment when my biggest was a 55. And honestly, I was kind of surprised that my landlord even let me bring that in. Before I moved out of my apartment, though, I had bought the 150 that Finley's in right now and had it sitting vacantly because before I got into puffers, I always knew that, I mean, when I first learned that there were freshwater puffers outside of pea puffers, of course, the first ever freshwater species I've ever heard about outside of Murphy and the Maboo was a Fajaka Puffer. And I thought, man, that is such a beautiful looking fish. And Finley is no exception to her kind. She is absolutely gorgeous, which if y'all want to get a little Finley update and haven't seen it already, be sure to go on my channel. We gave Finley a little visit, even fed her a little bit of krill in that video as well. So if you haven't checked that out after the live stream, be sure to see the latest here on Finley. Haven't seen a litter of eggs from her again, but maybe in about 3.5 months or so, we might see another one. We got a plan this time, too, if she lays eggs. I found a guy that is pretty certain he has a male, so I might try to collect the eggs out of Finley's tank next occasion, and we'll see if we can get some Fajaka Puffer fry. Might have to try to see if we can find ways to get the... I bumped my table here. We'll have to see if I can find a way to get some of my other puffers down here to breed like my Amazons or the red eyes now, which... or maybe even the figure eights or the green spotteds here. The figure eights and the green spotteds, though, especially the green spotteds, though, are very, very young, though, yet. So, it's probably going to be a long time before the green spotteds weaving. I would say they're probably at least a year or so out from that, at least. But, yeah, you never know. We'll see. Let's see. Another good beginner fish that would be awesome, and I know we have some live bearer fans, so this is going to be right up some people's alley here. And feel free to throw in some tips here, too, if you want about a certain fish that you know about that maybe I'm forgetting that's very important. The cool thing about guppies is, I mean, small fish, colorful fish, and usually pretty easy to care for. I mean, you can put, like, what about... I mean, the only problem... I know some people say that you can put them in a 10. The only problem with a 10 is... you probably then want all males. You want to make dang sure you don't get a female in there because the fact of the matter is if you have males and a female, that's really all you need to do for them to breed. I mean, guppies are probably one of the easiest fish in this hobby to get the breed. I mean, literally that it can be just as simple as that. Give them like a 20-gallon tank, or that's just an example, I guess. If you want to breed them, I would say even if you really want to go nuts, find like a 29-gallon tank or bigger. Maybe even go all the way up to a 55 here, and put like I don't know, like 3, 4, or like put some females in there and get some males in there both sexes. And I mean, just if you keep up on your tank maintenance and play your cards just right, that tank after a while, and these fish breed again and again and again, can very quickly fill a tank up full of color. And I mean, hey, if you got a 55 and if you want to sell them off there, I mean, it gives you more time to build up your stock, and hey, sell bigger numbers of stock too if you really get super into it. I know one other YouTuber, and I feel like I mentioned him in some shape, way, or form almost all the time. Otherwise, like, you want to get like a horse trough or a water trough of some sort, like what Chattanooga Ed does on his channel. But those of you that don't know, definitely check that guy out. He had some water buckets where he had some like outdoor ponds with guppies, and that's another awesome way to just let guppies go wild and breed and just get gorgeous color. It's a great way to do it. Let's see, Fish Kid 61. In your opinion, could one figure 8 go in a 17-gallon long tank? Yeah, one singular puffer could work fine in there. The only downside I would say of that is that usually figure 8s would prefer to shoal with others of their kind. It's why I have 3 and a 54. I guess I also don't know if I also can understand that sometimes people just don't have the space, which perhaps could be your scenario, but a 17-gallon long for one figure 8, yeah. I mean, figure 8s usually max out around the 3 to 4 inch range, sometimes teensy bit over, but a 4-inch fish and a 17-gallon long should be no problem. I presume it's going to be somewhat similar to like a 20 long almost even. But I mean, yeah, that should be okay. But if you can get a bigger tank, I would recommend that, because figure 8s are one of those puffers that would rather be in shoals, or I would say at least a group of 3 or 4. The more you can have with them, the better. But again, I understand not everybody has the space, to get like a 55 or bigger tank. So one specific figure 8 should work just fine in there. Liquid Zoo, always okay to mention Ed. Absolutely, Liquid Zoo. Agree 100%. Awesome dude. If y'all don't already know who Ed is, y'all are missing out. Go check out Chattanooga Ed. Of course, after the stream, of course. I need to quit bumping my table here, too, while I speak. Yeah, check out his channel. All sorts of, especially if you're a live bear fan or guppy fan, Chattanooga Ed's going to have stuff that you're just going to absolutely love, because he has some gorgeous guppies. Gorgeous guppies. Let's see here. RB Animals and Movies. I never had any luck with guppies as a beginner fish when I first started, and still don't have any luck with them. I personally am the same way, and I think it's partially to do because of my city water. Back when I lived in an apartment over in Atlantic, Iowa, was the name of the town. It's about an hour from where I am now. I was able to do live bearers over there just fine. I had some jet black mollies mixed with some Dalmatian mollies, and I had some guppies over there too, and everything went well. But ever since I moved over here now to the Council Bluffs, Omaha area, we're definitely on a new water deal. Things now, I mean, something about the water parameters, they just the live bearers don't do so well in it. And I've tried to fiddle around with the parameters a little bit, but to not much avail, unfortunately. Got Mike's Aquatics and Things here with us. Daniel Valles, Victor Albert is here with us again. T-Bones Fishies has just joined the party here. Welcome. Stephen P. 2003 Aquatics, welcome. I believe Stephen P. just recently went over 1,000 subs. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that he did. If I'm wrong, then I guess congratulations in advance. But hey, I'm pretty sure I saw you over 1,000 there, Stephen. Congratulations. Speaking of which, another person that went over 1,000 subscribers. Rico Stan is officially over 1,000 as well. So, I mean, a couple awesome fish tubers here just getting over the 1,000 mark. Stephen P. 1,005, baby. I love it. I love it. Yeah, okay, congratulations, man. I'm still pretty relatively new to your channel here yet, so I think I've only seen a couple. I need to catch up on a number of channels here because I've been out of town, traveling, and driving a lot, which has put me way behind on a lot of work here in my fish room, too. So I got to catch up on a lot of things here in my fish room and with some fellow fish tubers here. Got to see what everybody's been up to. But, oh, yeah, that's right. Mike's Aquatics and Stephen P. also reminded me Lefty has also hit over 1,000. Big congratulations to him as well. Yeah, thanks for reminding me there, guys. That's another awesome fish tuber. Definitely can't leave him out. All sorts of awesome people here. I believe, actually, just today I went over 900. I got a little notification on my phone from my trying to remember what the app is called. It's not the YouTube app. Oh, shoot. I want to say it was TubeBuddy, I want to say is what it's called, because I believe Chattanooga Ed does that too. I think Ed was actually the one that introduced me to the app even. Was giving me a notification, hey, congratulations, you're over 900. If only there was one more zero, then we could do that Dragon Ball Z meme about the channel. It's over 9,000. But nope, for right now, I can only talk to myself in terms of, it's over 900! Oh, shoot. All sorts of awesome folks here. Richard, your channel, or not the channel, but your comment, rather, is almost getting covered here. Would you trust a marine land tank that big? I presume you're talking about when I was talking about the 240 here. Seems like going that big, most people go acrylic just for peace of mind. I see 125 glass at PetSmart, but I think it would be devastating if it failed. Oh, yeah, I mean, so I actually made a video because earlier I thought this tank was leaking, and yeah, not going to lie, I was about to cry because I'm like, oh no, this big tank and it's leaking. Oh, that would suck. But I don't think it's a marine land. I believe it's whatchamacallit. Shoot, I lost my train of thought. I think the store said it was almost like they basically made it into an oceanic-like tank. Because I mean, this is half-inch thick glass, and they put a not a quarter-inch, something a big glass brace on this thing too. Like so, to those of you that don't know the backstory behind my 240-gallon tank here, one of the fish stores here in the Omaha area, Fish Freaks to be precisely, one of the 4 awesome fish stores we have here in the Omaha area. They used to use this tank as a live rock tank, but a customer of theirs brought in a 300-gallon tank, so obviously upgrade for them. And the store owner called me because he knew that I was looking for a big tank to basically do exactly what I'm doing. I wanted to fill this baby all up with all sorts of rainbows, gouramis, and just all sorts of beautiful, colorful fish. And basically, that, and also put my black ghost knife in a tank where he'd have plenty of room to swim around, and he's been happier than all could be. I'm thinking about maybe trying to put another knife in here at some point, see if we can maybe get some breeding behavior. But of course, if you put 2 knife fish of the same species in the same tank, you kind of got to be careful because they can be aggressive towards each other. I I've seen people get away with it plenty of times, but still something you got to keep an eye on because they can be very territorial and they don't always obey each other's rules, which can lead to quite the troubles. But back on the stories here. I kind of rambled there at the end. This was a live rock tank once upon a time at one of the local fish stores here in Omaha. And once they got the 300-gallon tank, the store owner called me and said, hey, we got a new live rock tank. Would you be interested in buying this 240? Which, of course, on the phone, I'm like, yeah. But I guess I won't say, well, what the heck? $400 later, and it had no lids, no filtration, no stand. The lids had to be custom made. The stand was made by me and my father. Obviously, the filtration I all bought separately. It's being filtered by an FX6, the granddaddy of them all, except maybe a sump, arguably, I suppose. That's how I got the 240. But yeah, when I saw it leaking earlier, Richard, I got really, really nervous. They said it was holding water when they drained it from the live rock, but obviously, it was sitting vacantly without water for about 2-3 months before I finally started setting this thing up. But so far, it's been all right. We double-checked all the seams and such, made sure it was all good, and so far, so good. But yeah, I hope it never leaks because, 240 gallons is a lot of water. That would be a long day to find one on the floor or find 240 gallons on the floor. Not my kind of idea for an indoor swimming pool. Drink of choice today, ladies and gentlemen, Mountain Dew Code Red. Not sponsored. That'd be quite a deal, though, if you got sponsored by Mountain Dew, though. Which, hey, if anybody from Mountain Dew Corporate's listening, just, hey, I'm available. IHSP's Tank Tribe, welcome. Let's see, I also see Chris Robertson got in here while I was yakking away. Dee Dee's Fin Den, I love that name, has also joined us. S has joined the crew here as well. Let's see here. Richard again saying Aquarium. Like I said, I'm not 100% what brand rather, of tank this is. They were thinking it might have been an oceanic. I don't know about that, honestly. All I care is, I guess, as long as it doesn't leak, it holds water. That's the best kind of tank. People are like, which do you trust more? An Aquarium tank, a Marineland tank, or, a Sea Life tank? It's like, I just trust a tank that holds water. If it holds water, then I trust it. So huge makes me want one. I tell you what, Richard, if you want another good place to find some big tanks, honestly, it's a place where I found my 150 and one of my 125-gallon tanks, honestly. A number of my tanks down here, honestly, I have found via Facebook Marketplace. Obviously, you got to be careful on there, but you got to be careful about that, of course, because, there's some strange characters out there on those Facebook Marketplaces. I never do like any of the shipping ones. I feel like that's just not reliable. But if you check your Facebook Marketplace, and I sometimes even set like the radius within 100 miles because I'll drive an hour and a half if the tank and price is right. But that'd be one good place. Sometimes you got to find, sometimes they have tanks that need resealed. Sometimes they have tanks that, people just don't have anymore because they're moving or just get out of the hobby. Marketplace is a great place to check if you're looking to get a used tank for probably even less the price that you would if you bought it used at a fish store, probably. Stephen P., would you put more than one pea puffer in a 5-gallon tank? It's a cube shape, so not a lot of space for territory at opposite ends. I guess Stephen P., I would probably be able to tell you better if I knew the precise dimensions. I would imagine that's not very big at all. I would imagine that's maybe 8-10 inches from far panel to far panel, or panels are parallel. I don't know whatever you would call that, I guess. I think it could be done, but I mean, you would. The problem with putting 2 pea puffers in there is, I mean, I guess if you had 2 females, then you can maybe get away with it. The males typically are a little more aggressive by the norm, but I mean, there's also plenty of feisty females out there too. So I mean, I say that, and then you're gonna get, the feisty females, and I'm gonna look like an idiot. But oh, there's update about 9 inches or so. Okay. I guess something that you could do to kind of break the line of sight, like what I did in my 20-gallon hex. I don't want to show it right now because I'm kind of battling algae up the wazoo in there right now. It does not look good. It's kind of embarrassing, honestly. If I ever showed it on video, I'm not gonna lie. But what I would maybe do, depending on how tall it is, I would imagine if it's 8 inches wide from parallel panel to parallel panel, then I would say then probably if you put like something like maybe a spider wood or something in there in the middle, like to form as a tree, and maybe like put some Java moss on the top, you could do that, and then like put some crypts, some small pieces of driftwood, or something I would do if you did like a spider wood tree with Java moss and all that. I think would look really cool is if you found like some dragonstone and put like some mosses or Java ferns and all that, just some plants, to create a lot of sight. But yes, one alone would be okay. I would always say they're better when you have multiple of their kind in there, because puffers are a very intelligent fish. They can get bored, but I mean, it can be done. I've seen people be able to do 1 puffer and be all right. You could probably try to do 2, but like I say, I would say then if you did 2, try to see if you can get 2 females. I know there's like I'm trying to remember the distinction between a male and a female pea puffer. I believe the males have more, once they're more mature, so I mean, once they're bigger, have more like little wrinkle sort of things by their eyes and have like a stripe down their belly, whereas the females do not have that stripe. I think that's what it is if I remember correctly. But yeah, I would just put rocks. I'd put all sorts of stuff in there. And a 5-gallon, I wouldn't want to do more than 2, but you can maybe get away with 2. I would not do any more than that though. But yeah, 1, you could probably get away with it 2. The only problem is then you can't really put shrimp with a pea puffer, nor snails, because every pea puffer I've known has been more than pleased to take those down as a challenging snack. Let's see. All about the spiderwood tree. I'm right there with you, CMP. I mean, a little idea that I have here. So to be honest with you, all my pea puffers here too are kind of reaching their life expectancy here roughly. I've had my pea puffers here for quite a while. I've had them for the one that I got now. I've had them for just shy of 5 years now. So I mean, it's I believe the average life expectancy of pea puffers is about 4 or 5 years. So I mean, they've done all right, and they were pretty much full grown when I got them. So who knows how old they were even when I got them. Although that, I guess, is a lot of fish, really. I have a really big hex tank down here. I don't even remember if I've ever showed it on my channel here before. It's buried right now, so I wouldn't be able to get you a very good look. But I believe it's like a 75-gallon hex aquarium. And the only problem is it needs to be resealed because the person that had it sitting for years and years and years, and I've never seen anything like it. The silicone is like coming apart from the glass panels as you fill it up with water, which obviously is a very scary sight to see when you are leak testing it and you see the seams starting to. It's like, ah! And you can't get that water out of that tank quick enough as you slowly see them go back together. And so, yeah, that tank's going to have to be resealed before I put anything in it. But I'm thinking if I reseal it, it'd be really awesome. Yeah, to do like a spiderwood tree and then just fill up all sorts of rocks and such. Maybe some Monte Carlo around that little spiderwood tree or something. I mean, I get excited just by thinking about it. That would be beautiful. But just do something like that in the 75 hex and just load that bad boy with all the pea puffers. I could fit quite a few in there, honestly. Probably, maybe could even fit a dozen. This thing is almost about a yard, like 36 inches from panel to panel, so you could probably put quite a few. All sorts of awesome folks here. Fishymon64, how's it going? Good to see you here again. I see Geek Boy joined us here earlier as well. Don't think I said hi to you earlier. I don't know if I even saw the people that first joined us at first. Master Aquatics Eduardo, I saw him here earlier. Good to see him as well. Dan's World of Fish and More was here with us earlier as well. Sandy Doherty was with us as well. Pride Moore's Fish and More. Mystery Snail Gardens, ABC Aquatic. Biotape Creations, Skipper's Aquariums, Outdoor with Big Matt. All sorts of awesome folks were here. I'm sure not everybody was able to stick because I'm sure when, the host is 10, 15 minutes late, it's my furnace kicked on. It's a little loud sometimes when you're sitting close by it. But do appreciate everyone, though, also, being patient with that. I'm sure that was, I know that can be irritating sometimes. How's it going, person who says I'm not here? Rico Stan has joined here as well. I'm glad to see him as well here. We were actually talking about you a moment ago. Congrats to that awesome dude hitting 1,000 here with Stephen P. and Lefty, which I think I saw a message from Stephen P. earlier about a live stream that I missed. See if I can find that again. Got to find that again. Oh, here it is. It's been a while ago. Wow. I can't believe I missed it for that long. Stephen P. says at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Is that today, Stephen? I'm presuming you mean today. He'll be live on Lefty's channel, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Central Time otherwise, with Chattanooga Ed. See, we had Streetwise here with us today as well. Oh, welcome, Streetwise. Oh, Victor, I apparently missed a message from you earlier as well. I've gotten a lot of hate for feeding live foods. What's the deal with that? Frozen food had to die as well. Plus, it's just a little fresher. I mean, yeah, I personally have, honestly, my Arrowhead puffer, I've just got him to start eating frozen krill, but I give him live ghost shrimp and live crayfish. I get it, but at the same time, I don't. I understand that some people don't want to see that, which is fine. You're entitled to what you believe, and if you don't want to see it, then click away. It's you're just one button away from clicking off the video. Simple as that. But of course, some people can't figure that out. I'll stop there. But it happens in the wild all the time, which is what I haven't had that too many times on my channel, but it's like it's what they do in the wild. So my personal goal with all my fish, especially the puffers, to help make them feel as comfortable as possible is, I look up what their very varied diet is. And, usually that includes live feedings, where if it's like my Congo puffer, I give him a lot of live mosquito fish and guppy fry occasionally because I have truckloads of feeder guppies down here. Or even minnows, because it's what they do in the wild. It's like, this is nothing new. It's not like we're forcing something that's unnatural. It's It's the circle of life, as the Lion King would say, or perhaps another Lion King quote I would say to those people. Hakuna Matata, no worries. It's natural. Hakuna Matata. I love that movie. I'm going to have to see that again. Well, frankly, I'm just a Disney fan in general. Any other Disney fans here in the chat while we're talking on that? Little off-topic fun there. IHSP Tank Tribe. Funny thing is, I've known people to gripe about live feedings, while live feeding DV, like what, like W2. I know, like I've seen that too. Some people like, I really hate doing this. Then why are you doing it? I mean, I guess their argument might be the same as mine. It's like, well, it's natural for the fish and their diet. No, that's like, I mean, you still have the option to buy it or not, but I don't know. I don't want to get into that too much because I don't want a person to relate to what I say and get frustrated. But yeah, it's just some of the people that, I mean, if you're complaining about a live feeding but do it yourself, then yeah, I'm kind of like, come on. What is this? No, come on. RB Animals and Movies. I'm a huge fan of Disney, and I have seen every Disney movie they have done. I've seen quite a few of them myself. So, I mean, a little fun fact, I guess, me and my wife, when we go on like long road trips, we're kind of sometimes we're like that corny couple that will play games as we drive along. And one of the games we like to do is the Guess Who, like with the characters. And she'll usually have me guess a hero, where I usually make her guess the villains. I don't know. I know some people think it's weird. Speaking of weird things earlier, like with the live feedings, like me with Disney movies even, I usually find myself liking the villains just as much, if not sometimes more than the hero even. Like, you ever heard some of these Disney villain quotes, like with Scar, or even like in The Lion King, speaking of that earlier, or like even Hades and Hercules and so many and all that? I mean, you ever realize that sometimes these villains can be way more relatable than even the Disney heroes are for us average Joes out there? I don't know. That's just that's me. It's like, you ever realize that more times than not, it's the villain that you can relate with more than the hero? I find myself, doing that a lot. Chris Trapp, I don't think I said Haiti as well. Oh, yeah. Welcome, Chris. Good to see you. How many gallons is your fish room? Oh, goodness. I know in terms of everything that's all running right now, I want to say it's over 1,200 right now. I have no idea what I did with my phone. I could calculate it real quick if I knew where I put it, but it's like over 1,200 right now because, I mean, there's the 240 right here. I got a 130-gallon trough that I kind of work as a pond for a shovel nose Lima catfish. That, well, I guess by the time you include what I filled up with water, it's probably more like 120, 115. So, I mean, 240, 130. I got two 75s, a 55, a 38, a 50-gallon Pentagon, a 125, a 150, 240 breeders, 320 longs, 310s, a 46 bow, a 36 bow, a 20 high, the 150 Fat Boy where Finley is in. Trying to think if I'm forgetting anything. Oh, the 20 hex. I got the 20 hex. I got a 25 tall for a jewel cichlid, and then a 7-gallon semi-hex. So I think that's all of them. If someone was paying attention to that and wants to crunch all the numbers, go for it. Oh, and a 54-gallon corner. I almost forgot about that. A 54-gallon corner where my figure eights are in a brackish aquarium now. I still need to do a video on that. Well, specifying on that. I guess I have done a video where I've shown you that they're over now in brackish water, but I'm thinking when I move over my green spotted puffers, I need to do like a little brackish water video, because I tell you what, I was so intimidated at first when I tried to do brackish water. It's really not hard at all, or at least I didn't think it was, but might have to give that a try. Let's see here. Master Aquatics. Look at Ursula. She is like a car salesman. I can get you what you want if I get. I mean, no, I've never thought of it about that way, world. That's actually a good analogy, because I mean, yeah, she gives Ariel what she wants, but I mean, she literally still robs her of her voice. So I mean, it was still a big price, which, you know, I mean, I guess I shouldn't talk down on car salesmen. The person that sold me my car, or my latest car anyway, was actually a really, really good guy, and my parents have worked with him too. But I mean, yeah, there are some out there where, yeah, that's actually a very, very adept analogy, actually. Let's see. IHSP's Tank Tribe with one each, 1,446. Sound about right. Because, yeah, I'm trying to think if I forgot any tanks. Because, yeah, 1, 2, 3. I'm wrong. I have 4 10s. So I might have been 10 gallons off there. But either way, yeah, I know it's over 120 the last time I myself did all the addition. But I guess in terms of tanks that are sitting around, I mean, I got a 90-gallon bow front sitting around. I have a 125-gallon tank sitting around. Obviously, our 185-gallon bow front is still sitting around empty. That 75 hex is still empty, but obviously I got to reseal that first. Yeah, there's a little bit of stuff down here still that is still, you know, there's still vacant. Good guys got to eat too. Absolutely, Eduardo. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do like some of the good guys. I can't remember if it's Disney or not, but I don't know if you call him a hero, because at first he's not all that great of a dude. But Emperor's New Groove is like, I lost the word now. Oh, yeah, it's a movie that another one that I guess I wouldn't say I relate with Kuzco, but, you know, well, minus the whole, you know, hey, no touchy thing. I'm one of those that's like, especially when, you know, the you-know-what pandemic started at first. I mean, I wouldn't say I was crazy about it, but I was all, you know, when we really didn't know, you know, top from bottom from the thing at first. Yeah, it was like, no touchy. But, I don't know. I always thought that saying of his was always kind of funny. You broke my groove, man. Let's see. I've only named off in like my near 45 minutes of rambling only 3 good fish for beginners. So I haven't done very well at this so far. Another good fish that would be to start with, and this was one of the first fish I ever got too, was Tetras. Tetras are another awesome starter fish because, again, most don't get that big. They're another very colorful fish. I mean, you could easily get like a 20, 29, which I guess in my book is not that big. Usually I would say the small tanks are like 29 and below. Once you start, I guess I don't consider 30 very big either, but I would say about the 38 and above range is when you start, I say, getting towards the intermediate sizes. 38 to about 75 to 90 is about where you start getting to the intermediate tanks. And then, of course, everything that's 3 digits in gallons or higher is where you start playing with the big boys, as I word it. Because, well, that's where you can start fitting some pretty big fish. Eduardo, I mean, yeah, that's another one. I mean, platies, mollies. I mean, the first fish that I actually ever had, I mean, of any kind, granted my father was helping me out because I was in elementary school at the time, but the first ever tank that I had with my father's help was platies. And yeah, those platies are another beautiful fish. I can't even remember the last time I've kept platies, honestly. I might, just for, the old time's sake, have to try to get some platies down here at some point. But right now, I really don't have a whole lot of places to put them. Let's see. Seeing Eduardo mentioned down the facts here with Scar earlier. I mean, didn't he also technically lose a fight with Mufasa, hence why he got overthrown as the king's heir? Something like that. I thought that was part of it as well. Mickey Mouse platies with Eduardo. Yeah, that's another great fish. I mean, yeah, I gotta get some platies again because, yeah, that was like the first ever fish that I ever had, if I remember correctly, with my father's help. And like I say, for old time's sake, might have to do that again. Although I haven't had a very good track record with live bears here in my fish room since I've moved to this new location. So I don't know, maybe to pay mercy on those fish, maybe I shouldn't. I don't want to bring fish in here just to bring them to their death, I guess. Let's see. IHSP Tank Tribe. He has 443 gallons in their fish room. Nice. But has about 1229 sitting aside. Yeesh. That's a lot. I like 29s though. 29s are a good sized tank. I mean, you can put like a good little like community tank there. You can't put anything too big into it. But I mean, like, I think 29s are perfect for like a barb community or tetra community, or if you want to do like all sorts of guppies. I think that's a perfect size tank for like just, get some like valves and such in there, or maybe a couple Amazon swords. 2 could probably fill that 29 up pretty quickly if you get the right kinds of swords. But yeah, it'd be those 29s. I like those. They're a fun size tank. Them and the 20 longs. I like both of those. Adele Sandry. Pea puffers are out of quarantine in the 20-gallon long. Haven't figured out sexes exactly yet, but they seem to be hanging out without any aggression. Yeah, the pea puffers, I mean, they can still be territorial sometimes, but I mean, usually the pea puffers, in terms of the puffer spectrum, I guess we'll call it, tend to, be one of the more friendlier ones, or at least the ones that you can actually, put others with without having to worry about them, shredding each other to thousands of pieces. Never could, unlike a Fajaka or some of those ambush puffers and such. Like my Congo puffer or my late red Congo puffer. I could never put anything with those. They'd shred it. Anytime I put mosquito fish even in there as knowing full well that they're going in there as feeder fish, I mean, the moment I put him in there, he starts hunting right away. I don't have to catch up on the replay. Have family here. Hey, totally understand. But thanks for checking in and saying hi. Always love seeing all sorts of awesome fish folk here. We got 16 awesome fish folk here with 28 likes. So many awesome folks. Can't thank y'all enough here. And I don't think I've said it yet, but all of y'all that have made the 900 subs here possible, I can't thank you guys enough so much for this. I mean, it's crazy what this is becoming. I mean, I know overall, 900 is still pretty small still, but I mean, it's still bigger than I thought this was ever going to reach, because I feel like I've said this like almost every live stream. I mean, I started this just as a thing, just to, share what I'm doing in my fish room with friends and family. And then, yeah, I just saw it, other people taking interest, and fast forward, here we are today. It's amazing what, the simplest of things can become if you, put the time in for them. Let's see here. We're at 49 minutes. We'll still try to go over an hour here despite me coming in here late. Unless, is anybody going live right now? Because I certainly don't want to step on anybody's toes either. I don't want to steal the spotlight from anybody. But something I might do also here that I've been thinking on this live stream is I might try to get some like guest speakers here at some point. Like if you've seen like Rico Stand's, Rico Stand's, I just said it. Oh, stream. I'm like losing all sorts of words here today, folks. If you've seen Rico Stand's live streams or even like James at Fish Room Fever, they like to bring on guest hosts or guest people occasionally here to chat up about fish or things about the aquarium hobby, or sometimes even just get to know the person outside the hobby. I know Rico Stan does that specifically a lot, and that's that's really I think that's really cool that people that here. And honestly, here in the Omaha area, I can think of 2 other YouTubers right off the top of my head here. I know I've mentioned one of them a couple of times. SC Fish Keeping is probably the most prestigious one here in the area. I want to say he's like over 50K, which if you like big monster fish or catfish, he also has a Fajaka too, I believe. If you haven't checked out SC Fish Keeping before, highly recommend it. He has some awesome stuff as well. Blue Dog Aquatics is another guy. I know he is also in the Omaha area, relatively new as well. I think he, about a month or 2 ago, went over 1,000. He's been growing really fast too, but he also does like aquariums and reptiles and all that stuff. I believe he's getting a store of his own here actually in the Omaha area, which is double awesome. I'll definitely have to see if I can, once his store gets open, see what he has, and hey, maybe we'll have to do a little feature video on that then. I haven't done any feature videos on any of the Omaha stores here though yet, which I was kind of thinking about not too long ago. Might need to change that here soon because these stores in here in the area are really, really cool. Seeing a lot of people getting some light bulbs here with when he's saying SC Fish Keeping. Yeah, Zach is an awesome dude. I know I've met him once before at Fish Freaks in Omaha. I want to say there was like a second occasion where I saw him too. I want to say maybe at an Aquatic Society fish swap. I think I want to say I saw Zach another time, and I guess we don't know each other closely. I mean, it's more of an acquaintance, I guess, currently. Not to say that I don't. I mean, he's an awesome dude, to what I heard. I mean, I know one of the James with Blue Dog Aquatics also knows Zach pretty well. I believe they even traveled to Aquashella together for it was either Dallas or no. I think it was Orlando. The more I think about it now, they went down. So I mean, James on Blue Dog Aquatics, that's the guy's name on that channel. Knows Zach pretty well, and I mean, I've heard nothing but good things. He's an awesome guy. Both James and Zach, for that matter. Let's see. What's another great starterfish? We've talked about Bettas. We've talked about Tetras. I guess I touched up a little bit on Goldfish. I mean, I myself personally am a little leery of labeling Goldfish as a beginner fish because, well, obviously they get big. And I mean, the comments that I have in the 125, which been a hot minute since I did a video on that, might have to change that here soon. I mean, the smallest comment I have right now is probably about 6 inches right now. I mean, they're pretty good size, and they can max out around the 10 inches, closer even sometimes to a foot mark if you give them the right conditions. And obviously, that's not going to happen if PetSmart or Petco tell you that they're okay in a fishbowl. So, but I guess I don't want to go too deep on that. I don't like roasting things or stores or people on my channel. But I know that, yeah, there's all sorts of misconceptions about goldfish, so I'm very leery of labeling them as a beginner fish. especially since, them being cold water. And I mean, they're not the nastiest fish out there, but they definitely, as the bigger they get, can mess up their water faster than some other fish can, which, I mean, kind of puts a lot in terms of the maintenance. Goldfish have their challenges, but I mean, there's definitely a lot harder fish to keep for sure. But I mean, I guess that's one easy thing. You don't have to put a heater in there. They can live in warmer water. They can live in colder water. Heck, the top of the water can have ice, and as long as the water's not frozen through, top from bottom, there's been instances where, the goldfish have lived just fine in that even, in terms of like ponds and all that. So, I mean, that's nice. You don't really have to worry about the temperature. But, I mean, that they eat flake, they eat frozen foods, they eat pellet foods. So, I mean, they're easy to feed. There's plenty of things that are easy about keeping goldfish, but you get it. The bigger they get, the more challenges they can possess. Let's see, we got some other ones here. Yeah, I mean, Tank Tribe, a lot of great points there as well. I mean, they shift the gravel in terms of finding stuff through there, which is always good, kind of helping you, keep the substrate, decent, because it'll stir up that stuff and, ideally get sucked up by your filters and such. They have plenty of advantages. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Goldfish still have plenty of advantages. It's why I have a 125-gallon tank of them. But, they eat duckweed. Mine eat duckweed like ice cream. Because whenever I put it in there, they just, towards the top, they go crazy. I mean, they eat duckweed. You got a duckweed problem. I mean, as long as you don't have a super aggressive fish in there, I mean, if you're down for just letting them go to work if it's a big enough fish, they could take that. I've seen them take out duckweed in that tank when I have the whole top of the 125 just full of duckweed. It's been all gone, like 100% gone in just 2 days. I mean, they don't mess around. They love that stuff, especially mine. Well, let's see. We're getting near that 1 hour. I don't want to step on the metalheads as a time here too much, despite being late here, but not their fault. Of course, I was late. What's hashtag Duckweed Nation from the Mystery Snail Guardians? Hey, absolutely. I mean, I got a couple of tanks that have duckweed. I mean, I know some people loathe duckweed entirely. I personally, I mean, it can get out of control, but that's also, where the goldfish come in handy, of course. But, duckweed's a good way to also help keep the nitrates and nitrites in check. It's a good plant that, suck that up from the top versus, other plants that also help keep your substrate clean. I mean, there's plenty of advantages or at least that's the main advantage with duckweed anyway. Hey, Melvin, good to see you here joining the party. Mom has IGSP. Mother has 2 that survived. My brother's Oscars. They got along well with many different kinds of catfish, angels, cory cats, etc. Yeah, those something about the goldfish. Sometimes those Oscars just I've just noticed that even with a lot of other people that they usually mention that they can get along with some other fish, but if they tried goldfish, then it's on. Something about it. Maybe that's just how it is. I don't know. Maybe because they're big, so they feel like they're competing for space or something. I don't know. It's sometimes fish are just weird. Let's see here. Seeing it, double checking to see if I missed anything earlier. I see Dan's World of Fish and More earlier was mentioning about needing to find a big hex in the Chicago area. I feel like Chicago would probably have some killer fish stores, but man, I haven't been to Chicago in, oh man, it's probably been over a decade. Might have to change that though this next coming year. If hey, if we get over 1,000 here, I might have to talk to the bosses and say, hey, I gotta keep this thing growing somehow. Gotta check out what this whole hullabaloo about aquashellas is. I really wanted to try to make one this year. My wife and I, in 2020, we're going to try to go to Dallas aquashella, but of course, all those got canceled because of what, and we never actually got the tickets. We were about to go buy the tickets, and then that's when we saw the message saying, hey, we're going to call them off this year. We're sorry it didn't work out this year. If you got the tickets, go ahead. Which at that point, it's like, well, a lot can happen in 1 year. So, we decided to hold off, and just never worked out this year. But maybe next year. Might have to see if we can make it work out this year, because I really want to go and see it at Aquashella and see what it's all about here. Pretty sure I'm probably not going to make Orlando, but definitely want to try to make Chicago, and maybe might try to make Dallas otherwise, or maybe Dallas with Chicago if life permits. But we'll see here. I've seen all sorts of videos. They look awesome. Look like awesome facilities and awesome events. So definitely got to get myself in on that here soon. Now let's see here. 619 here. All sorts of awesome folks here. 31 likes, 15 people watching. Y'all are awesome for all that. I appreciate all y'all coming in here, despite me coming in here way late, like I have said a couple times here. Promise that won't be a normal thing. I don't like being late for these things, especially when I'm the one that schedules it. Let's see. I guess maybe before we sign off here real quick, if anybody wants to share what they think is a good starter fish outside of anything that I mentioned. Obviously, we've mentioned the live bearers, mollies, platies, guppies. We mentioned bettas, tetras. Another great one out there. I know there's another one. We talked about bettas, of course. Touched up on the goldfish subject a little bit as well. So, anything I haven't mentioned, feel free to throw it in there below here. Otherwise, I'm not going to lie. I'm getting a little hungry. Might have to starting to think about what's going to be for dinner. Yeah, Melvin. Rosy red minnows are another easy one. If you want to save some fish potentially from getting eaten by bigger fish, which is, I guess, honestly, kind of why I get some of the feeder comets from fish stores. It's a nice way to go. Save some fish's life. Let them live at least, longer. But, yeah, rosy red minnows are another one. I guess I'm one of the bad guys, I guess you could say. I get the rosy reds just to feed them the puffers and such. But, alas. Oh, speaking of which, that new puffer video, obviously I never got that one out this week. Keep an eye open. I'm going to get that new puffer video out here before Thanksgiving. Either tomorrow or Wednesday, I'll try to get it. I'll have it out there. So keep an eye open for that. You don't want to miss the video on the new puffer, guys. This, obviously I showed a puffer in the last live stream. He's an absolute beauty. You're not going to want to miss this. He's a gorgeous puffer, and I'm very eager to get that video out to you guys so you can see him and see all his splendor. With that, we've hit over an hour 5. So, guys, I think I'm going to call it good for today here. I apologize again for coming in here a little over 15 minutes late. Thank you all, though, so much for coming in here anyway, chatting with us here on the live stream here about numerous things, fish, all sorts of great things. To those of you that don't know, I believe earlier they said the metalheads are live here as well. So make sure you go and get their stream here. I need to get some moderators at some point so I can have links posted at some point. Or if somebody has the link, go ahead and put it in the comments if you want to, so people can have another stream. But thank you guys again for coming here. And, of course, thanks for 900 subs. Really means a lot here. Y'all are awesome. Obviously going to keep this thing going here. And, hey, I'm serious. We hit the 1,000 here before the end of the year. Going to do another giveaway here before the end of the year. But until then, guys, and until the next video, thank you all for watching. And I'll see you all in the next video or next stream. And, of course, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Stay fantastic.